Well, rehearsals are underway tonight for the State of the Nation address, which will happen in exactly 24 hours from now. Parliament's presiding officers earlier conducted a walkabout while assessing the venue's readiness for the big day. Newzroom Afrika's Athi Mtongana is live for us in Cape Town. And Athi, we're back at the Cape Town City Hall for a second year since that fire at Parliament. What changes have had to be made to the way in which SONA has traditionally been run?
Well, a very good evening to you, Temekile, from a very windy Cape Town, I'm sure you can see. But it is going to be another SONA outside of the parliamentary precinct. It's going to be yet another SONA at the Cape Town City Hall, of course, following that fire that gutted the National Assembly and sections of some of the buildings at the precinct. Now, the presiding officers of Parliament are tight-lipped about what is currently happening insofar as the rebuilding process. They will be convening a media briefing where they'll of course, give an update as to how far they are with regards to rebuilding Parliament, because, of course, the business of Parliament has been affected by the burning of the National Assembly, where they've had to even move to the Good Hope chamber, but within the parliamentary precinct. And of course, for the State of the Nation address, in order to accommodate the number of people that will be present, they will be again hosting it here at the Cape Town City Hall. About 400 members of Parliament, both from the National Council of Provinces and the National Assembly, and of course, just over 200 guests as well around the chamber. But I'm joined by the Secretary to Parliament, Mr. Xolile George. Thank you for your time. I saw that the simulation has now concluded. Are you ready for tomorrow?
Good evening, Athi. Good evening to all the Newzroom Afrika viewers. Yes, indeed, we are comfortable about our level of preparedness as Parliament. It's all systems go. And we're quite excited about this SONA 2023 because it will enable South Africans to get a message from His Excellency, the President of the Republic, and all people are looking forward to that moment. On our side as Parliament, we have done all what is possible into our logistics, preparations, to ensure that we have a very successful State of the Nation address.
Now, a lot of South Africans have expressed unhappiness about the fact that you will somehow be exempted from load shedding. You said on the other day during the briefing that you have arrangements with the City of Cape Town and Eskom to ensure that load shedding does not affect SONA.
Well, that is in control of the City of Cape Town. They did give us a briefing during our preparations and indicated the measures they normally take on events of this magnitude. I think we will all appreciate that the city is in charge of ensuring that as we use their facility, there's guaranteed and uninterrupted access, including measures that in the event that there were to be the impact on the availability of electricity, alternative measures have been put in place to make sure that the State of the Nation is not disrupted. And they don't only do this for City Hall, they will do that for the entire precinct, and including a number of areas that they decide as a city how to make sure that our event is successful. And we're quite happy about that.
As I wrap up, Mr. George, let's briefly talk about the budget for this year, as well as that money that has been earmarked for the rebuilding. Has it been given to Parliament? Have you started the rebuilding process? Because a lot of people are wondering why it's the way it is.
Well, starting with the budget for SONA, I think we have clarified this matter and would like to re-emphasize what we said. Parliament, we have budgeted an amount of 8.2 million rand. And that is a budget. The actual expenditure will determine based on cost drivers. For instance, because we are no longer operating within our precinct that is now bent down, we will now be operating at the City Hall. And what that means, is that the broadcasting infrastructure that we must hire is not hired only for the day of tomorrow. You start working on it. For instance, this Monday, as you are aware, we had a memorial service, a joint sitting. You don't set that on that day. You set it probably 3 days before, and you hire that infrastructure daily. It costs on average 800,000 to 900,000 per day. And that is part of Parliament's fulfilling its constitutional duty. As we know, Parliament has got three main mandates: lawmaking, oversight, as well as public participation. So to ensure live feeds to all the broadcasting houses, it comes from inside. So we've got to set up infrastructure that is compatible, and that is the cost. The second part is that it's not only for SONA. That budget of 8.2 also covers the budget delivery, which will be done by the Minister of Finance on the 22nd. It includes the debates, pre and the replies. Same applies for SONA. It includes all of those.
So would you say it costs more to be here than it would have if Parliament didn't burn down?
Well, I would say from venue hiring. Remember, Parliament was not hiring venue in the National Assembly. It had a new facility. It was not hiring venue. Secondly, the broadcasting infrastructure was investment of Parliament.
So are you paying the city for using it for SONA?
Yes, we do pay the city a set fee that is...
How much?
It's an amount that is less than 300,000 to cover a number of events, and we're able to engage. We're quite happy and very grateful for the city to make this facility, because other than that, we would not have any other facilities. On the second issue that we are raising, yes, the budget of Parliament, as it was outlined during the medium-term budget statement, that was October last year, as we all know, the Minister of Finance indicated an amount of approximately 2 billion rand. And that money would now be formally allocated this budget by the Minister, as it was outlined that the indicative, they will give us a certain amount, 118 million rand, to start preparations on areas that we call unforeseen expenditure. We did not anticipate that we will have this fire. And then annually, they will allocate 1 billion rand. And where we are as Parliament now, we are at an advanced stage of preparing to announce the rebuilding of Parliament. And as news houses, we will invite you fairly soon, so just watch the space.
All right, Mr. George, thank you so much for your time. We are running out of time. Well, you heard it, Thembekile. I'll leave it there for now. Back to you in studio.